Hello everyone, this is Lorena Bina here, also known as Unknown Gnome. Today I just wanted to show you basically the basics of how I do my Blockbuster stuff and just how to get started with it all. So first, to start, once you have the mod installed, I'm using the Blockbuster Studio for 1.20.1. To open the menu, you hit 0. Then down here at the bottom, you've got this Films tab. Now, normally once this opens up, if you have never created anything, there should be nothing here. So you can either, you can right click to add a folder. So I keep all of my scenes in folders. I can get into that in a minute. But otherwise you hit plus, you're going to give it a name. So this is going to be a test. And then it opens up this new window. Now, if you wanted to add a folder, this helps keep everything neat. I can show you in a second. So, like, if I open my scene 3, I've got all of my scenes for my episode 3 that I had done. And so I can then put all my scenes in this folder and not have to worry about it. Anyway, so now that I've got this open, you've got a little viewing window here. If you hit this flight mode, you can look around at what you're viewing. To start, you are going to right click on this. You can do it anywhere really, and you're going to hit add. You can choose anywhere. I normally just go with add clip at cursor, and then I can just move it later. Add idle is sort of just a regular camera. Add Dolly sort of does a very slow zoom for the length of that camera. I've never used circular, but I've used the path one, and you can like set points for where your camera moves from point A to point B. So first I'm going to add my first camera. I'm going to extend it a little bit. If you need to see, right now we're looking at 600 ticks. If you need to see more, you're going to have to scroll out. If you want to scroll in more over this direction, you can see now we only see 200, but we have all of this empty space, so we can, well, we might have to zoom out over here, but then zoom in over here and stuff. You just got to play around with it a little bit, but you'll get used to it after a while. So here we can use this toggle flight mode to move our camera around, place it where we want it. You can hit WASD to like get it further to the ground. We're gonna just do something like right here. You can also change it through this menu with like the position and stuff. I just find it easier to toggle flight mode with that. Then if you need to add audio, you're gonna right click again, hit add clip at cursor, sure. You're gonna add audio. Now, you shouldn't have any audio added to the program yet. So how I do that is I hit F6. It brings up this menu. I can click on audio, which will open up a folder. This is the same thing for if I needed to add skins for my characters. I'd click the models one. So, let me see. I clicked, oh, it's opened. It's just down here. So then I've got this audio folder that will automatically open. And what you do is you are going to take the, if you've like downloaded audio or if you've created an audio file with like Audacity or something, you're going to basically just click and drag it into this new folder, and then once you're done you can exit. But as you see, I have a lot of audio. I don't know what this is, but I have a lot of audio for each of my thing. If I go to the models folder, let's see, you're gonna get player and emoticons. I normally look at the players, and then if it's an Alex skin, I'll normally put them under Alex Benz because I like using that model the best. You can also do it under Steve Benz, is where I have all my Steve skins. And so you're going to click and drag and put those in there. Now that you have your skins and your audio, we can add the audio. So scroll down over here. There's a thing that says pick audio. You can choose from your files that you've imported in. Just go back to episode 1. I'm probably not going to actually use it. You can extend it for the length. I might have to zoom out here to be able to get the whole length of whatever it is for all the ticks that, oh my gosh, I forgot how many ticks it was. That's good enough. Okay, so now we've got our camera and our audio. Now we'll add a character. So right here we've got our replays. This is how we add characters. You're gonna right click, add a replay. You've got your different models. This is just a regular Alex model, your Alex Benz. You've got some iRigs that I've never played with yet. This is just a regular player, player female, player slim, Steve, and Steve Benz. And then I've got my messed up horse model that I can play around later. And then you've got also these simple and regular models. So you're going to click on the one you want. I'm going to choose Alex Benz. Down here you can't see it, but it's the bottom right corner. It's behind my character. There's a little pencil right next to the X. You hit edit. Then you pick a texture. It'll open your folder with all of your skins for the Alex Benz. If you need to go to a different folder, you just click this little button right here and it takes you back and you can see all the other folders. So back into Alex Benz. I'll choose this red queen, and then you can just hit X. Down here, you're gonna hit finish editing. Now, I always end up, instead of hitting the X for some reason, I hit like the lambda, and then you just have to redo it all over again, but it's okay. It's a little annoying. You can give it a name so you don't get it confused if it ever like gets messed up. So this is Queen. And you can give her a name tag if you want her name to show up like if you were playing with actual people and not doing a story. And you can make it an actor, and this will make it interact with like pressure plates and stuff and other people. If you don't enable that, then it touching doors or walking on a pressure plate doesn't do anything. You can also remove the shadow if you don't want them to have a shadow underneath of them, but I'll enable both of those. I'm actually going to delete this audio because I'm not going to use it. Okay, so now we've got our actor. So now what I would suggest you doing is going into your controls and fixing your keybinds for the mod. What you're going to want to look at specifically is open current replays. You're going to want to have a button you can remember for that. Play film and record current replay. Those are the three that I use the most. So open current replays, if you want to quickly change between what character you're working with, you can use that window instead of hitting 0 and then going to replays. It's just like a quicker way of doing that. Record current replay is how we're going to record our characters moving and doing actions, and then playing the film will allow us to watch it back and make sure everything is how we want it to go. So I have, let me see. Okay, I'm going to come down here. I believe my camera is like right there or something. My button to record is a comma, I believe. Yep. Okay, so then in the corner, it's going to have how many ticks are going. It's going to give you sort of, not really a countdown, but like it'll start doing a random tick amount, and then you'll be off to the races. So it's counting up. You can always use the ticks when you're done recording. You're going to hit the same button you used to start recording. So mine is the comma again. And if you have audio and let's say it starts at tick 399, you can move around and just watch the ticks so you know when you need to start bobbing your head or whatever you want to do. Anyway, so we've recorded my character moving around, not doing much, but it's fine. So then I'm going to press the play film button. She'll move around for me. I can see her doing that. You can also hit the same button to stop it from playing. You can also go in here. You can enlarge this window if you wanted to and hit the play and it'll play and you can actually see it from the camera angle. If you wanted to change, you just click on the camera and then you'd have to pause it. But then you can move where you are. And once you hit toggle flight mode, it'll keep it. But just know that anytime you have selected the camera, anytime you move it, it'll stay there. It won't revert back. So if you want to stop moving that one, you have to move something else. So like, see, I had created a new one, a new camera, and I messed around with it, but you can't see it because but if I move it here, then it's in front and you can see it jump to it. That's another thing. You can like put them on, you can layer them. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's also this onion skin. I don't know exactly what that does, I'll be honest. I haven't messed around with it. I'm not seeing much. I wonder, hold on, let me create a new replay. We'll just use my character, sure. You don't have to give them a name, I just like to. Okay, so it did not do, I thought it might show me where they were gonna go so I didn't like bump into them or something. It did not. So I don't know what that does, I'll be honest. But that's okay, I'm gonna turn off visibility. Oh, enable it for all replays? No view. I don't know. Anyway, turn that off. So if I wanted to animate the character like waving or something, since I didn't do any head bobbing or anything, I could go to open action editor. Nope, I'm wrong. Open replay editor, which is on the right here. You can't see it. But it's that little what you call it when they say action, whatever. It's that. And then on the right here you have all of these notes things. So if I want to change how my character is posing, I could always go down to this red line that says pose. It's the fourth one from the bottom. You're going to hold control. It'll come up with this little box which I can move along the line. And then you just left click and it creates a box. Now I normally always put one box first as my starting position. And then the second box is what I'm going to edit for the animation. So if I want my character from this position to this position to then, I don't know, let's just quickly, gotta be on top. That's the thing, the green line has to be on top for you to actually be able to see what you're doing. Okay, so you can see that I'm raising my main character up into the air. So then as I play, she will slowly begin to rise. If I move this closer, the closer the boxes are to each other, the faster the action occurs. So she's going a little faster now. If I do it from here, she goes even faster. Now she's up in the air quicker, and it doesn't take as many ticks for the action to occur. You can change other body parts. So you've got all these things. You can change the elbows, the knees, the legs. You can change, like, flip them upside down, turn them left to right. Oops. I never mess with the scale. You can mess with the scale, but that just, like, makes them big and small. Yeah, I don't really mess with the scale. So this will change the where they're standing. I don't really do too much with this. This is just like simple things. And then this changes. You can mess around with it. I've never done this second rotate. I only have ever messed with this first X, Y, and Z. I don't know really what this does as much, but I'm sure you can mess around with it and figure it out. You can also move the actor, like, without being outside of this window, but it doesn't really, I don't see what the point of that is. So yeah. So that's basically how you can animate them, and you can add more boxes. You can right click. If you hold control and left click again, it will delete it. So just be careful when you're placing boxes, that if you have an animation and you're like trying to place one right next to it, it might end up deleting it. I've had that happen a couple times and I'm like, oh, I gotta do it all over again. You can also right click the boxes to copy the keyframe, and then you can paste it so that way you don't, like, I do animations with making my characters blink because I haven't figured out eye rigging yet. So normally I'll just create like 2 or 3 animation boxes, and then I'll just copy and paste those every few hundred ticks or so that way it just is a continuous repeat of the action. If you want to copy or move multiple, you're going to hold shift and left click, and that will highlight all the boxes that you want to like move or copy, and then you can just click and drag. You can right click, copy, then you can paste all 4 of them together, and they'll paste in the exact same like positions from far away, distance between them and stuff. Then if you wanted to do something like you have a character that you want to change their texture throughout the thing. So I've got my first texture, and now I want to change it to something else. So I'm going to create 2 boxes, one with the first, and then the other one's going to be for the second. This is different. I'm going to go into Assets, Models, Player, Alex Benz. Scroll down. Where is it? Can't tell if that's... Oh, that is it. Okay, that works. So now... Oh, I've messed this around with this so much. Okay. And you can use the toggle flight mode in this area and it will not affect your cameras at all. So don't worry about, oh gosh, I need to see my character better so I know what body part I'm working with and can see how closely or like how high I want to raise the arm up. You can zoom in, you can use the flight mode to get closer to your character to look at it. But just know if you toggle it off, it will revert back to where you have your camera set. So I'm going to fly up closer. I'm going to move my camera just a little bit. I can always make this window bigger if I need to see more. I can do it just this way. Okay. And then I have it so that way she has her regular... Oh, she sort of flew out of green. She has her regular skin, and then this is why I should have started. She had her eyes open before, and now she's closed. So that's basically what it does. That way you don't have to have different anchors different textures at the same time. Now, the anchor one, if you remember from my first episode, I had Presley carrying Nora to the school. I'm actually going to create a new scene because this one's getting a little too messy for me to work with. And yeah, I don't want to deal with it. I gotta go back to the open camera editor. I gotta add a camera lens. Make it a little long. And then I gotta make a replay real quick. Add a replay. We'll just add her. And then just doing this little countdown. Okay. Now, I need a second character. We'll just do this one. That's fine. I'm going to put him right here. I don't know where I was gonna stand, but it's okay. I'll move him right. I'll put him right here. Okay. So then I can go back and open the replay editor. I'm gonna scroll down to the anchor. I'm gonna pick anchor. I'm gonna choose. So I'm looking at my male character. So I'm picking the anchor of my male character to be my female character. And I'm gonna anchor him to her left arm. No. I'm gonna attach him to left arm item. That's fine. Okay. So then what I did, so right now his feet, she's holding him basically by his feet. So I'm gonna change his pose. I'm gonna make him, I forgot which way it was. I'm gonna basically just make him lie down, and then I'm gonna move him down, and I want to move him in front of her. I'm gonna zoom in again, like I said. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to her, and her arms. Left arm is gonna... Okay, her left arm's gonna come up. Right arm's gonna come up, and then I'll just have to move him down. You have to mess around with it a little bit. It does take some time. Just anchor. It doesn't really... takes a while. Okay. This, that. Now I need him to rotate. Maybe. No. There we go. Okay. But I need him to go. And let's see. Yeah, she's sort of. Yeah. Okay, she's holding him. So now. Oh. I'm gonna just put their actions. I'm gonna put her actions. And now if I hit play, yeah, it sort of looks wonky right now. I don't think when I did it, oh yeah, I didn't move him a little bit, so his legs are gonna move. But yeah, you just mess around with it. That's basically how you can make your characters carry things, carry people, carry animals, carry objects that you have added. Just little animations and stuff. You can do like a free camera mode. I don't know what some of this does. Teleport. Let's see. If I go, let's say, I think over here. I think this is what teleport does. And then I hit teleport. Yeah. So if I'm somewhere so far away, but I want to come back to where I was working, I just hit that teleport button and it brings me to where my camera is placed. So that way I can resume my job that I was working on. Recording video, that's a whole nother thing. You have to add stuff. I'll get into that in another video. I just wanted to show you the basics of how to get started, how to add characters, how to animate slightly, how to set up your video. I'll give you a tutorial for, let's do a path. I'm gonna delete this one, remove clip. So a path. So first you've got your point 0 right here, which is where we are looking. Now I use this for my intro. I can actually show you the intro. So if you want to change what point you're working with, you just have to click like 0 or 1. You can add more by right clicking and hit add point. Basically, so 0 is here, obviously. If we click 1, we're gonna do our thing and move our camera to here. Now, if we take it here and we hit play, we can see it move. And if you want it to move quicker, you just have to shorten how long this bar is, how many ticks it's going to take. So it's going to move quicker now because I've shortened it. If I made it longer, it's going to take its real slow time getting from point A to point B. I can add more more path points, but that's basically that. Let's see, intro. This is basically how I did my intro. It's just a bunch of paths with some which one is that? That was the Dolly, which I said zooms in slightly, but I've just got a lot of path ones, and normally they have like 0 to 2 points that they have to reach. Anyway, back to the test. Oh shoot, I forgot I'm looking here. Well, we'll add a Dolly and I'll show what that looks like. If you hold control, you can like move faster. Where am I? Let me get up. Okay, I see. And then if you let it go, you go back to the speed. Okay. So, let me actually zoom in a little bit more. It should be like a very, very subtle zoom. It's not anything crazy. You can sort of see when it comes back that it like goes back out a little bit, but it's just a very, very subtle zoom. And so I started using Dolly and then I realized that's what it was doing, so I don't like that. You can also copy your camera angles and paste them as well. So if you want to duplicate what way you're looking at. Now let's say you have a camera that's over here. And then you've got a camera that's up here. And a camera that's down here. Now you have all these camera angles and you want to create another one, but you want it to be like this one right here. So I'm gonna add clip it cursor. You can copy and paste. You can also just move your cursor while the box is highlighted. Move it to the angle you want the lens. Toggle flight mode real quick, toggle off, and it'll be in the same angle that lens is facing. Sorry, I'm really bad with words sometimes. Anyway, let's see what else we got that I can show you. I believe I did shake for episode 1 too. It sort of looks like the other. It's hard to work with in my opinion. Let's see. Yeah, you've got yaw, pitch, XYZ, roll, and FOV, shake amount, shake. There we go. So, yeah, that was a little bit of a headache inducer. I don't really like using that. It's something you definitely need to play around with too. But there's all these other things you can try and figure out. But that was basically the basics of how you use some of them. I don't know what these keyframes do. Morphing, model blocks, supporters, particles, texture manager. I've never used any of this. Like, I don't know even what you would do with this graphic calculator. I'm sure there's videos out there. When you're ready to start actually recording, you're gonna need to download an FFmpeg, and you have to get the encoder path and do stuff in the settings. I will try and create a video for that if you want. But anyway, that has been my 30-minute tutorial on how to start with Blockbuster. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this was educational. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye!